Welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today we have a side by side, three side by side. We have the Ardbeg Elements of Islay AR9, 10 and 11. Okay, so just a little background. Elixir Distillers, the owners of Whisky Exchange, one of the biggest retailers of whiskey in the world, they basically started this Elements of Islay. What I love about it is that they can get Islay bottlings, like I guess the relationships are so good with the distilleries. And Ardbeg, everyone knows Ardbeg, heavily marketed, great spirits, but most people have never really experienced single cask goodness or shall I say independent bottled Ardbegs, right? Ardbeg fans, I'm sure they would, but most people haven't. So this is more for Ardbeg fans who have not tried these yet. So these are one of the most sought after bottlings out there, and I just want to compare them side by side. Most Ardbegs you get are going to be the 10. That's the entry level. And then you have the Ardbeg releases, the Ardbeg Day releases, which is, once again, in my opinion, can be hit and miss now. It can be a little bit over-marketed and overhyped, and some of them can be real gems. So, but in saying that, you don't really get many aged Ardbegs anymore. Okay, so aged Ardbegs is something that's quite rare to come by, and if you do get by them, they're expensive as shit because they are sought after and high demand. Okay, so. But these ones, just to take you through them, okay, I'm just going to look at my cheat sheet here. The AR9 is a 16-year-old, 51.6. The AR10 is a 17-year-old, 52.4. And the AR11 is a 19-year-old, 56.8. So higher ABV than the other two, but it is older. So that is interesting in itself, okay? So once again, I don't really care about the cask influence. I just want to review them and see the differences between them. Okay, so that is the AR9, 10, 11. Okay, so let's get nosing on all three of them. Okay, all right. So if you look at the three of them, the 11 is the highest rated one from memory, okay? And I can tell you why. Because the 11 is heavy sherry. I can smell it already. Heavy sherry. Okay, so let's go through it one by one. AR9. Very meaty. It is also a heavy sherry influence. Smoke is apparent. The rubber is apparent. I'm getting salami, bacon, oysters, a little bit of seaweed. I'm getting grilled fruit, grilled peaches, grilled nectarine. I'm getting wet tobacco, like tobacco that's been cured into a cigar and then it's been wet, okay? A slight muddy flavor to it. Cloves, aniseed, black pepper, candied ginger. Raw cacao. I'm excited because it smells delicious. Now let's go to the AR10. The AR10 is much more subdued in smell. Straight away, much more subdued. But a lot more smoke, a lot more peat, a lot more fire. The rubber is more prominent in the 10. I'm getting coriander root in the 10. Ginseng. White pine and cedar. A little bit of nail polish. Some rust. Salt. I'm getting a salt, a saline, quite a salty smell on that one. pork fat, white pepper, ginger. The nose is a little bit more compelling on that one. Let's go to the AR11. Heavy sherry influence. I can smell the floor of that sherry. Mold, fungus, dingy warehouse, basement, a wet, mossy basement. I can smell the gimp. I can smell the gimp, baby. Wet leather, salt, women's BO, as Tim would say. Actually, no, I'm just joking about that, yeah. But yeah, Tim seems to think that it's women's BO. I can smell the funk. I can smell the funk of that sherry cask. That I can smell that floor on top of that sherry. Hot stones that's been wet. Mud. Once again, the leather is so prominent. I'm not getting so much spice in this. I'm getting that fungal, funky, almost springbanky funk. But then it's followed by that heavy peat. Latex gloves. You know, like passing through customs and they think you've smuggled something up your butt, you know. And they put that latex glove on, you're like, ooh! Let's get sipping. Let's get sipping. Oh, God. You think you know Ardbeg. If all your Ardbeg experience has been from distillery bottlings, then you have not been living. If you can find Elements of Islay, sell your firstborn child, sell your kidney, hell, sell your left nut, and get them. Wow, that is a punch in the face. It's like liquid rubber, burnt sugar, a little bit of hand soap, you know, like a hand sanitizer soap smell to it. No, that's not my hand, so definitely from the whiskey. Metallic rust. It's so robust, it's so full in flavor. It is just a mouthful. Bonfire in the distance. Wet wood that's been soaked in salt water. Meat. It has meat. I can't pick up what meat, but it's like bacon extract. It's bacon extract. Pork fat, pork meat, bacon. Reduced to a syrup, put into Ardbeg, boom, that's it. Just keep sipping that one. Actually, no. I'm going to save a little bit and go back and forth. So different. Same spirit. Relatively similar age, but so different. The peat is more prominent in this one. The AR10, so much more prominent. The rubber is fresh rubber instead of burnt liquid rubber. It's fresh rubber. The peat is in your face, confronting, straight away. Aftertaste, grilled apricot, dried apricot, a little nutty. I don't know what nut, like a hazelnut. Like a toasted hazelnut. As you're opening the oven, you're pulling out the tray of roasted hazelnuts, and you get that. Oh, give me that nuts. Yeah, the hazelnuts, fantastic. Slightly medicinal, licorice, aniseed. Not so meaty, a little bit meaty, not so meaty, but very salty. The AR10 is very saline in nature. A little plasticky as well, like fresh plastic. You know when you go to a dollar shop and you have all the shitty Chinese injected mold plastic, and you got that smell, a little bit of that as well. It's shitty there, but it's great here. Fantastic. Let me just sip water. I am not sponsored. I am not sponsored by Pump at all, okay? This is the oldest one, 19 years old. Holy shit. No wonder that is the most sought after Ardbeg out there. No wonder. It is absolutely phenomenal. All of them are phenomenal, but let me just sip again. Highest ABV, yet the oldest. Most time in barrel, but still high ABV. This one here is a face kicker. Face kicker. Liquid rubber, fresh rubber, times 2. Is smoke, times 5. It smells like smoked meat, like a super fatty pork belly that's been smoked for 15 hours with mesquite. It is just so powerful and fatty and oily in the mouth. Wow, I am not only flabbergasted with the goodness of the AR11 and all of these whiskies, but this is also my 5th review of the day, and so I am slightly pissed. Wow, this one, you would think it's a heavier sherry influence that I can taste, but you would think that it's going to be sweeter, but it's so savory. There's something so fundamentally savory about the AR11. It is salt, meat, yeasty, sourdough bread, the smoke, bonfire, pine needles on your hands when you pluck a pine cone. It's got a chili pepper heat to it, like a Thai red chili, like quite a sharp heat in the back of the palate. The finish is lingering on all of them. This one here has black cherry, or just a cherry juice concentrate, this one here, but it's been aerated with smoke and salt and leather, just leather. I can smell freshly tanned leather, a leather jacket with this, or what I like to say, the gimp mask. It's salty from the sweat of that gimp, and it is just leathery but creamy at the same time and smoky at the same time. The wood influence on the AR11 is dramatic. The second one, the wood influence is not very clear. So as a purist, you might like the AR10 because it's bourbon cask, or it tastes like a bourbon cask, and it doesn't have that sherry fruitcake element to it, and it's quite a purist sensation. The AR9 is kind of like the little brother of the AR11, but they're so distinctly different, all of them. And this is why I love the Elements of Islay AR expressions. They are just so freaking good. They're so good, and to have them side by side like this is a hell of a privilege as well. A hell of a privilege. Yeah. Which one I would pick the best? I would pick the AR11 and the AR9 the best. Maybe I'm partial to sherry. Usually I'm not, but with Ardbegs, I love the combination of that sherry funk and the peated spirit. Cigar pairings, do as you please, man. Any cigars will drown in these. You can smoke anything you want. You can even smoke crack and it'll probably drown in these. No, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not advising you to smoke crack. But if you did, it would still withstand these. But if you were to smoke weed, it would still withstand these. I'm not advising you to do that. Don't, but yeah. But cigar-wise, I would say any cigar will withstand these flavors. Will complement them. The smokiness, and the robustness to any cigar will be fine. Yeah, my top pick would be AR11, followed by a close second, the AR9, and followed by a close third, the AR10. I'm biased because I love these bottlings. but they're all good. They're all good. I would say get the whole set, sit down and go through them, split the price up with your friends, and just go through them side by side. What a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. I'm gonna drink the shit out of these. And afterwards I'm gonna have cookies, because there's cookies that's being baked. Thank you, and see you again till next time. I'm gonna try to drink all of them at the same time, eh? No, I can't. Cheers.